Hi, welcome to Yoga Under the Sea. You can join me by sitting in a cross-legged position on your yoga mat. Let's begin by interlacing our fingers. Start to inhale, lifting the elbows up. As you exhale, push the hands away from the body, round the spine. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, lift and lengthen. And exhale, release, interlace the fingers behind the back, and inhale, lift the chest. Release the hands, interlace the fingers, and inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, push the arms away from the face, round the spine. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, release. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift the chest up, arms away from the body. Exhale, release. We'll do one more round of this. Interlace the fingers and inhale, elbows up. Exhale, push the arms away from the body, round the spine. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, release. Interlace the hands behind the back and inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, release the hands back towards the front. We're going to interlace the fingers again in front of the body, and we'll bring them up and place them at the back of the head here. We're going to bring some movement into our neck and our shoulders. Keep the elbows parallel and just slowly start to allow the neck to fold forward, the chin to come to the chest. Come down to your own degree here. Feel a gentle stretch on the neck. And as you inhale, gently release and start to bring the head all the way back up. And we'll release the hands, interlace the fingers again in front of the chest. We'll place our hands directly under the chin and we'll just go the reverse direction. So start to lift the chin up. Again, applying the amount of pressure that's comfortable for you. Slightly tilting the chin back, gazing up if it's comfortable. And gently release the head back. And we'll roll over onto the knees and plant the hands towards the front of the mat here. Spread the fingers, place them about shoulder distance. Tuck the toes and sink the hips back, and we'll push up for downward dog. You can walk the dog here by pushing one heel down and lifting the other one up. Stretching out the back of the legs. And then coming up onto the tippy toes here, stay in your V shape. And then release, bend the knees and allow the heels to come back in the direction of the mat. We'll do that again. Inhale, coming up onto the tippy toes. And then exhale, release the heels back down. And one more time, inhale up onto the toes. And exhale, release the heels back down. On your next inhale, lifting up the right leg, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw it forward and place it in between the hands at the front of the mat. Release that left knee, release the left toes. And then inhale, extending the right arm up. Exhale, release back down. And then inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, release the hips. Release the hands. Inhale the chest forward. And exhale, release out to the right hand side. The left elbow can come to the right knee. Use that as a lever to twist and peer over the right shoulder. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, release the hands back down on the inside of the right leg. I'm going to walk our right foot towards the right side of the mat, pointing out on a 45-degree angle. My heels on the mat and my feet are just dangling onto the floor here. We're going to come into our lizard pose. So you can stay here, up on the hands, or maybe even come down onto the forearms. You can even take the challenge of tucking the toes on the left side and lifting that left knee up. We're going to stay here for 5 deep breaths. wherever you are in lizard pose, you can release that knee, come back up onto the hands here, tuck the toes on that left foot again, and we'll push back into our downward dog. And now we're just going to simply change sides. So inhale, lifting up the left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward towards the front of the mat. Release the right knee, release the right toes. Inhale, lifting the left arm up, gazing up. And exhale, release back down. Find your balance here, and then inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, drop the hips, and release the hands back towards in front of the chest. Inhale, tilt forward. Exhale, twist out to the left-hand side. Right elbow towards the left knee, peering over the left shoulder. And then inhale all the way back to the front of the mat. Exhale, release the hands. We'll place our hands on the inside of the left leg. Start to walk the left foot towards the left side of the mat, placing the foot on a 45-degree angle. Heel maybe touching the mat and toes hanging off towards the floor. Lizard pose on the opposite side. We can stay on our hands or maybe come down onto the forearms. Or perhaps even tucking the toes on the right foot and lifting the right knee up. Stay here for your 5 deep breaths. And then just releasing the knee back down, coming back up onto the hands. This time we'll push back into a plank. Keep the shoulders over the wrists. You can drop down to the knees if you need to. Otherwise, inhale, lean forward slightly, and exhale, chaturanga. Bend the elbows and lower the chest between the hands. Release the toes, and then inhale up for cobra. Gazing just forward. And release the body back down. Push up onto the knees. Tuck the toes, downward dog. 3 breaths here in downward dog. And then on your next inhale, lifting up the right leg. Exhale, draw it forward, place it in between the hands, and then come all the way up. And we're going to come into our goddess pose. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in. You can inhale the arms up, and then as you exhale, start to bend the knees and lower the hands. Lighten the toes, lifted chest, and we'll stay here. Making sure you're sinking deep down. And gazing ahead if it's comfortable. You can even come up onto the toes and hold it here for 3 breaths. And release those heels back down. Place the hands to the inside of the thighs. Inhale, lift the chest up. And as you exhale, lean forward and place the right shoulder in between the legs, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. And exhale, left shoulder down, peering over the right shoulder. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, drop the hips a little bit more here. Lighten the toes, lifted chest. And then inhale, extending all the way back up. This time, bring the toes inwards and the heels out. Place the hands on the hips. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, fold forward, coming down. Place the hands in front of the chest on the ground. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. And after those 5 breaths, you can slowly start to lift the chest up. Place the hands back on the hips, nice straight spine, engage the legs and lift all the way back up. Turn and face the front of the mat. Bring the hands towards the front, plant them down and step back in to your plank position. Shoulders over wrists, drop to the knees if you need. Otherwise, inhale slightly forward and exhale, chaturanga. Lower the chest and bend the elbows. Inhale, rolling to the tops of the feet. Lift the chest up for upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. And we'll drop straight into our child's pose. So you can drop the knees to the outside of the mat, bring the big toes together, and allow the hips to sink back towards the feet, and the arms and the chest to lower down. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then slowly bring the chest up, walk the hands back towards the body, and we'll sink over into a seated position. Place the left thigh down and bring the right foot to the opposite side of the left knee, or the left side of the mat. Have our right knee nice and lifted here. Bring our right arm around the back as a support beam for our spine. Inhale, extend through the left arm, and then exhale, twist out to the right hand side, peering over the right shoulder. And inhale the head back first, and exhale, release. Place the hands beside the hips. Allow the hips to drop back, release the legs, and we'll change sides. Right leg connects with the mat. Left leg comes on top with the left foot on the right side. Left knee on top. We'll bring our left arm around, place it behind the spine as a support beam. Inhale, lift through the right arm, and exhale, twist out to the left hand side, peering over that left shoulder. Inhale the head back first, and exhale, release. Plant the hands again beside the hips, release the legs, coming into a cross-legged position, or you can choose to lay down, and we're going to end today's class with 5 deep belly breaths. So you can place one hand on the chest and one hand on the stomach, and gently close down the eyes here. And you can also place your hand on the chest and stomach if you're laying down. And we'll just start to direct our attention towards our breath. And on your next inhale, start to inhale into the stomach, up to the chest, and then all the way up to the collarbone. As you exhale, release from the collarbone, the chest, and the stomach. And we'll do 4 more of these at your own pace, following your own breath as it moves through your body. And thanks so much for joining me for today's Yoga Under the Sea.